It was a regular weekday morning at a small diner on the outskirts of Pennsylvania. Nothing fancy. Vinyl booths, clinking coffee mugs, and the smell of fried eggs in the air. The place wasn't used to VIPs, just truckers, locals, and families passing through. Jassica, a 28-year-old single mother and waitress, had been working double shifts for weeks. Rent was due. Her son had outgrown his shoes, and her car had started making a sound she couldn't afford to get checked. But she smiled anyway, always smiled. That's what good service meant to her, even when life wasn't so kind. That morning, an older man in a dark coat and baseball cap walked in quietly. He sat in the far corner, didn't say much, just asked for black coffee and eggs. Well done. Jassica didn't recognize him at first. She had too much on her mind. But something about the way the other customers looked at him, the way the manager stepped out from the kitchen with wide eyes, it made her pause. She looked again. It was Donald Trump. She froze for half a second, but caught herself. No political reaction, no opinions, just do the job. "Morning, sir," she said warmly. "How do you like your toast?" He looked up briefly, nodded. "Doctor?" No butter. That was it. No smile, no small talk. He ate in silence while Jassica kept serving other tables, checking refills, keeping her calm. A few customers whispered, took sneaky pictures. One family even left early, visibly uncomfortable. Jassica just kept working. When he finished, Trump asked for the check. It was $17.85. Jassica brought it over, along with a casual, "Let me know if you need change." He placed a $20 bill on the table. She walked away to give him privacy. When she returned, he was gone. On the table sat the $20 bill and a $1 tip. Nothing else. Jassica stood still, blinking. A single dollar? From a billionaire? The anger rose slowly, not because of who he was, but because that kind of gesture stung. She had worked hard, served with respect, didn't treat him like a celebrity or an enemy, and all she got was a buck. But before she could react, the manager came out of the back holding an envelope. "Hey, Jess, this was left at the register. Said to give it to you. No name." She took it. Inside was a folded piece of hotel stationery, handwritten. "It's not about the money. I watched how you served people, without bias, without judgment. You're working harder than most people I've met in boardrooms, and you never even flinched when others stared at me. The dollar sign is to remind you of something. One small act of dignity in a world full of noise is worth more than money. I've asked my team to take care of your son's education. You'll get a call in 2 days. Stay strong. You're the America I talk about." Jassica sat down in the booth, completely still. She reread the note, unsure if it was real. A joke? A test? But then, the manager looked at her and said, "There was a man in a black suit who just asked me for your full name. Said he'd call later about a scholarship?" Her hands shook. She laughed once, out of disbelief, out of nerves. Then she cried, not because of the money, but because someone with the power to ignore her, had seen her, had noticed the quiet strength it took to stay kind, to work hard, to carry her world on tired shoulders. That night, Jassica told her son a simple version of what happened. She said, "Sometimes people surprise you. Sometimes all it takes is one act to change everything." And sure enough, 2 days later she got the call. Her son's full tuition, covered, books, meals, even a laptop, a private donor, no strings attached. Jassica kept that $1 bill, framed it, hung it right above the counter at the diner. Customers would ask why. She'd smile and say, "That? That's the day I learned that real value doesn't always look like what you expect." Years later, her son graduated college, the first in the family. On stage, as the cameras flashed, Jassica held his hand and whispered, "It wasn't about the tip. It was about the message." And maybe that's what we all forget sometimes. The smallest moments, the ones we almost miss, can carry the weight of a lifetime.